Hey, everybody, welcome to Matt Man, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarin. I'm joined by the original blend, Rich Stambolian.
Number one, the original blend. Yo, let's dab it up.
Yeah, but that's not how MG dabs.
No, we can't show what MG does when he dabs. But you're the dab master.
I am the dab master. I'm also the dad master.
You are the dad master.
I've aged myself into dad mode at work, where now I'm like,
I think you've aged yourself into dad mode all the time, 24/7.
24/7 I'm a dad now.
You've dipped into that. You know, even in our group chat, you're a dad.
Don't
go out today. Put a jacket on.
Yeah, I'm yelling at Jonathan. I'm like, Jonathan, you gonna go out barefoot again?
What time are you coming home? All right.
Your hair's wet?
That garbage ain't taking itself out.
I just berate them. Guys, the show's all about professional wrestling. My allergies are killing me. It started already. My eyes are on fire. You feeling yours?
I don't really get allergies. No.
Wow.
To answer your question.
I'm the only one.
No, like Vicky's been sick all week. Like I know, most people I know have a lot of allergies. MG, do you have allergies?
Not really. I get a few, but
he just eats
nothing
pollen,
major.
dude.
Not yet.
Scoops.
I get them in the
pollen.
summer. Mm.
He eats flowers. He's like a lunatic. You got to see this guy. He goes into fields in Michigan and he just starts munching on flowers.
I think he's a hummingbird. Buzzing around.
That's such a great insult too. He's a hummingbird. What does it mean? Nobody knows.
My favorite. Let's talk about insults really quick.
Yeah.
This is gonna make me sound terrible. My favorite insult is to call somebody.
You sure you want to do this?
Yeah. If you call a Karen a bag of bones.
Bag of bones is great.
Bag of bones is the best to call a person like that. You know?
And then you add like UF and bag of bones.
Yeah. It's so satisfying to say that.
Yeah. I'm just envisioning MG unhinging his jaw and just swallowing daisies and daffodils.
He's like the guy in Blade 2 that just like.
That's exactly what I was thinking of, actually. Guys, this show's all about professional wrestling and everything else that we talk about here. We're all over the place, but a lot of wrestling happening. AEW Revolution this Sunday. I hate that it's on a Sunday.
It should be spelled with a W in the front, right?
Revolution?
Like revolution, like wrestling. Revolution. Right? Silent W. Silent R.
W. Let me see how that looks. Let's do it.
Actually, both letters aren't silent.
You know what?
I'm not a master of the English language.
That could work. Wrestling could work.
Wrestling. I also pitched Tony Khan an idea the other day on Twitter.
What was it?
All Elite Riesling. A wine brand.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? This dude, you're sitting on a gold mine, Tony Khan.
All Elite Wine, AEW. You could do all AEW.
Yeah.
All Elite Wine.
I think All Elite Riesling is a better play on words.
When we go to that show at UBS, do you want to corner Tony?
Sure.
And just be like,
hey,
I did sneak in the back.
It wasn't Andrew, it was me.
It wasn't Andrew, it was me. You know what? Do you want to tell him that it was you?
I didn't. Well, number one, I didn't sneak in the back. I was let in.
You were let in. Yeah. You were let in. Sting let you in, right?
Oh boy, big ups.
Guys, a lot to talk about. Obviously, a pay-per-view this Sunday. You got UFC tonight, which we're not going to talk about.
Okay.
MG, are you producing that show? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm actually writing up the note, the plug for it right now. But yeah, I will be on with Matt tonight at 9:45 to do a watch along.
Yeah.
Does Matt,
he does a good job with it.
Does Matt get on top of you for your misspelling, or is he also like illiterate?
He doesn't have to worry about my spelling. He has to worry about their spelling.
Yeah, he just helps. MG just helps with that.
Oh, okay. He doesn't fully produce?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't fully produce. The build to WrestleMania is continuing as well. Rich, do you want to start with the news?
Yeah, sure. TBS announced the premiere of AEW All Access on Wednesday, March 29th, about a month from now, at the end of the month, I should say, at 10 p.m. They also released the trailer.
Yes.
Do you think this is more akin to what they used to do when Cody was involved, like the behind-the-scenes stuff?
A little bit. I know that Warner Media really wants more content from AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And they are going to be producing more content. This is not the only thing. When Tony announced that this was the big announcement and all these people tuned in, I kind of prepared everyone. I was like, this is not the one announcement you want to hear, but there is another one coming. There is another announcement coming very soon.
Cool.
And it's not the video game, and I think people are going to be they're going to be way more interested in that announcement versus this.
It's that All Elite Riesling.
So it's going on right after AEW All Access, starting on Wednesday, March 29th, 10 p.m. I don't know how it will do. I don't know. I'm not interested in a reality-based show.
I don't mind it. It's a good lead-in. I'd rather watch this than Slap Fight.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Is it over for Slap Fight?
I don't know, man. That Slap Fight makes me like... It makes me upset in a different way. Not like I'm not like pearl clutching about it, but like I just don't want. I love like all right. I'll put it to you this way.
Yeah,
I love Jackass.
Okay.
Right.
Yes, and I don't.
Right. But I also don't want to see dudes concuss themselves on purpose for whatever this is.
That's my problem too.
You know. And again, this is not coming from a place of like, oh, I could do that. I'm a tough guy. Not at all. Right. I just don't think this is the path that we as humans should be taking right now.
Listen, I said that, right? And I was like, listen, I don't care what you do or what you watch or whatever, but I think it's gross.
And I do like combat sports. So do you.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah. I love combat sports.
Big fan of
combat UFC.
Sports. Yep.
I watch Bellator. I watch boxing. Yeah. I watch everything.
Right.
I just don't like the fact that you can't defend yourself. Your arms are down and you're just getting concussed in the head until you fall. That's how you win.
Do you think they should get one defensive move out of the 3 slaps?
Yes. Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Like, boom, like he used it.
One time.
He used the hand up or something. Or like a little bob.
Dodge.
Yeah, a little bob and weave.
Yeah, that'd be a nice stipulation added. You can make it like a video game. You could acquire items.
Such a weird show, huh?
It's a very strange show.
Wonder what other countries think of it.
Slap fighting? Well, they have the glute slapping league in Russia.
Like on the butt?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Poland and Russia have the glute slapping league. The first time I saw a slap league was in Russia. It was these women. It was like a female-based slap league.
You're not making this up.
I swear to God, I'm not making it up.
Would you? You know what? Like you won't get a concussion from that, but maybe there's a chance you'll shit your pants.
Possibly. Yeah. Possibly. AEW All Access. Let's see what this does. They also released the trailer yesterday. I saw the trailer. All right, cool. It is what it is. Tony also teased more important announcements going into this week. Oh, he did tease it. I didn't even read this. Okay, so I know what that announcement is.
Oh.
I just don't want to ruin it for people. I promise people I'm not going to ruin it. But I think that if it is what I know of,
yeah.
I think people are going to be happy with this.
Cool.
There's more AEW content.
Very cool.
I'll say that. Brock Lesnar turned down a Bray Wyatt match at WrestleMania 39, but apparently accepted Omos. This is interesting. Brock is leaving. Mm-hmm. He's saying his goodbyes already. He told people backstage, like, yeah, I'm done. I'm wrapping up. Is he going to put over Omos?
Sure.
I don't want to see this match.
Why not?
Not into it.
Too bigs. Like he can't. The story of him, he can't get him up for the F5 and almost keeps landing on his feet.
Yeah.
And then he puts him through a table somehow. I think Brock wins. Omos could take the lose right now because it's still early in his career.
It's fascinating. Like the big guys, like they're not doing much.
No.
Right? Like Omos, he's huge.
Yeah.
Braun,
big.
He's not doing anything.
Well, is he still with Ricochet?
Yeah.
So, the big guy thing is very interesting because, like, again, it's we always talk about this. It's WWE trying to recreate that lightning in a bottle that they had with Hogan. I feel like they've been trying to do Hogan for 40 years.
They did Hogan with, I think the closest that they've done is Cena, right?
Though I'm saying in terms of like
size. Yeah.
It's Hogan 6'8", right? Big dude.
I don't know. Is he? Yeah, I think so.
He was 6'8", right? Big guy. Braun, same thing. Big Cass, same thing.
But Hogan didn't have a giant's body. You know what I mean? That was the difference.
He had an inflated baby body.
He had an inflated, he was just big.
Yeah. He looked like a baby who was taking his first steps. Just like that frame,
Yeah.
But it's like big. I think these guys are just missing charm, Like,
charm, the face. I don't think Braun Strowman is the most handsome of men.
No, Khali is a good example.
Great Khali. He looks like a giant.
He looks like a giant.
Yeah, but he has giantism.
But put that guy overseas, that guy's like the main event.
The main event everywhere, yeah.
Really nuts.
Maybe we're just jaded to the Giants.
You know what?
Like, we never saw Andre in his prime.
No.
We only had the big brrr.
Yeah.
That's who we had.
We got like end of career Andre.
We had a Frankenstein monster.
Yes. I think like Big Cass. I feel like I'm holding out hope for Big Cass. I wish he wasn't called
Big Bill.
Big Bill.
I know. I'm not a fan of the name.
I think he should be called William B. Ignis.
What is he? A scholar?
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar turned out. Yeah, I don't. This is it for Brock for the time being, and then we'll see. I'm sure he'll be back. You think he's going to be done?
I don't know. I feel like he'll always be brought back for some kind of attraction. Like if, for example, like 2 years down the line, let's say a Seth Rollins is like, is there anybody in the back who can challenge me at Hell in a Cell? Nobody, right? And then you hear like the vortex.
What is that sound?
It's probably a combination of sounds, but like I immediately think of like a Harrier jet.
Is that what you think, Brock Lesnar? I think of like an animal screeching.
Okay.
That intro.
Yeah.
Whatever this is.
Dead animal. That's all.
Dead animal.
An animal, a big giant dinosaur dying.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, kind of. Thank you, MG.
You should come back as a dancing dinosaur.
Yeah, dude, you should come. Yeah, Brock should be a dancer. He should do the Funkasaurus gimmick.
I think MG should be a dancing dinosaur too.
Fightful Select is reporting that someone in the company believes Vince is back in charge of creative, citing creative decisions.
That's
I asked about this.
Yeah.
I was told he's not in charge, but suggestions are open.
Yeah.
So
listen.
Yeah, I saw the dumbest arguments online as to like, well, he said he's not going to be in charge, right? And Hunter's in the position.
Yeah.
You work for any company.
Mm-hmm.
If the owner really wants you to do something, you're going to fucking do it.
Right.
You're not going to be like, no, that's not what you said. You're not in charge of this department. I am. Yeah. No, it doesn't work like that, especially if it's your father-in-law.
Right. Oh, my God, yeah.
I'm sure there's suggestions being submitted. I'm sure there's, I would rather do this suggestion or, I can't imagine he's not involved in any kind of creative decision.
No, not at all. I think it's, I personally think it is a strange note sharing situation that they have where let's say Vince is at a meeting and then Hunter's there and he goes, Vince, how you doing? And he goes, I'm great. And he gives him a handshake, but there's like a little letter inside that has plans for Raw.
That's how he does it.
He passes it to him. It's got to be tough, man. Do you think we'll ever get that Hunter tell-all book? Because he would be the guy, right?
He would have to be the one, right? If anybody was going to do it, it would have to be Hunter or who else was there? Bruce Pritchard would be the one, really.
I would think Hunter would have the best vault of stories because of his involvement with that family. The fact that he's been best friends with Flair, going through the entire Attitude Era with a straight head on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Like he's got to have that, and like being in charge of creative and doing all that stuff, he's got to have like some kind of crazy vault of stories that I would say would probably rival anybody.
Who else would be the one? Him?
Pritchard's
Pritchard's
a good one. Vince himself.
Shane.
Shane.
Steph.
Yeah.
Right? Kevin Dunn.
Oh, yeah.
That tell-all.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Transfer and Heat is saying that report of Brock leaving was debunked by PW Insider. Said the report was untrue. He is taking time off after Mania. That I have heard.
Mm-hmm. Nice little comment from John Canton in the chat. Andrew has a great sweater, and it's nice not to see his chest hair.
I don't have a lot of chest hair.
But when you do, you do.
When I do, I do.
When you do,
when
you
I do. I do.
I think you need to go full Shawn Michaels.
Oh, just the top?
Yeah, just
no
the
belly,
top.
no belly. Just the top. Yeah,
just across the two pecs.
You want me to shave it into like a cross like him?
Sure. Do whatever you want. I think
isn't that what he does?
I think he did that at one point, right?
Yeah. I think so.
What was that match you sent us the other day?
Which one?
Shawn Michaels, TWA, was it 2001?
TWA. Yes, against Venom.
Yes.
Right? Wasn't that his name?
Wild.
Venom?
Hey.
Thank you. I need a Tylenol. I got a bad headache.
I thought I locked the door.
Yeah. I would... That was a terrible match.
Mm.
What was it? From 2000?
2001,
right before,
I think.
Yeah, right before he was coming back. He did some stuff. He did the stuff in FMW also. Remember that?
No, I
He
don't.
was a special guest referee in FMW.
The referee stuff, yeah.
It was like a Hayabusa versus Hayabusa match. It was like Dark Hayabusa versus Hayabusa. I think. I could be making this up.
Do you think he was so effed up at that point that he didn't even know where he was?
No, 2000? Yeah, maybe.
Where he's just like, where am I?
All right, what else do we have?
All right, let's see here. Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics reports that WWE has Backlash scheduled for Saturday, May 6th. Love those Saturday pay-per-views. Plus King and Queen of the Ring set for Saturday, May 27th. Is the pay-per-view or the PLE going to be called King and Queen of the Ring? Is that the official name?
So I don't know what they're doing here. I don't know how they're doing this. So he's reporting that Backlash is scheduled for Saturday, May 6th. Plus, the King and Queen of the Ring is set for September 27th. I don't know how they're presenting this. Is it a
May 27th?
May 27th. I'm sorry. What did I say?
September.
September. No, not September 27th. I don't know what's in September 27th.
Jeez, are you hinting at September 27th?
That number just flashes in my head over and over again.
What's the scoop, Andrew?
927 over and over again. I don't know if it'll. Do you know, MG? If this is like a
I haven't
set
heard
event?
anything. I haven't. I've heard that they're doing it, but I don't think it obviously hasn't been announced yet. I know that, but this is what he reported. So, and this was like a week ago. So
Yeah. Interesting.
take that for what it's worth, I suppose.
Great.
Mhm.
Dave Meltzer reported last week in Wrestling Observer, the newsletter, that Moné's next two opponents are Azumi and who's the other one?
Maya Iwatani.
Oh, Iwatani.
Azumi at Sakura Genesis on April 8th and Maya Iwatani at Stardom's April 23rd, 2023 show from the Yokohama Arena. These are going to be good matches, man. She's putting on a couple of bangers. And also, listen, do you think WWE's eating their shirts right now because they don't have her with a belt at the Mando stuff, at the Star Wars stuff?
Oh, yeah.
She was tugging on that IWGP belt with Rosario Dawson, man. That was awesome.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you got to show me that.
I have a crush on Rosario. I've always had a crush on Rosario Dawson. So there was like the press junket.
I'll send it to him.
Yeah.
MG's on it. He knows what I'm
He
talking
likes
about.
the Latin girls, too.
Yeah,
MG.
why not?
Yeah.
You know what it says on the notes over here?
Yeah, what?
It says, never mind. I'll tell you later.
Okay. Is it like the joke you did before we walked in and you said, how does MG dab? And you said you can't do it.
I can't do that on the air. Nobody could ever do that on the air.
He drops his pants the whole time.
He doesn't dab with his hands. I'll tell
He
you
does it
that.
with his asshole.
So, they were at the junket and the premiere or whatever, and it's, Mercedes with the belt playing around with Rosario Dawson. It was pretty sweet, do you think WWE, back to my question, do you think WWE is kind of like, God damn it?
I think they're a little bit like that because they really wanted to make this deal happen with her because it was done in such a bad way. Like how things fell apart between Trinity and her and WWE.
Okay.
I think it would have been worked out if WWE wasn't going through the turmoil that they were at that time. But I think this is great. She's in Japan. She's doing her thing. And also the way WWE sees it, she's so far away from anything they're doing. It doesn't really bother them that she's in Japan and she's wrestling.
Okay. She's going to come back though, right?
Yeah, I would imagine.
It's going to be like that, very much like a Trish Stratus Lita situation where at some point they're just going to show up.
Yeah.
MG, do you have that picture on the
I sent it in our chat.
I can't pull it up. Let me see this.
Also,
that is awesome, actually.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Can I ask you something, MG?
Yes, sir.
When you send an image, why is it like the pixel size of a picture from like 1998?
I think he's using a compact laptop from 1993.
How do you send these photos?
He whistles at
Send him normal.
What do you do? You whistle.
He
at the
whistles
You're
at
the
the
only
screen.
one that has issues.
It's like Yondu.
Dude, I'm looking at this. It is like 64 by 64, the picture.
I think he uses Adobe Photoshop circa 1996.
Photoshop 98.
Mm-hmm. Just where it's all grayed out.
Unbelievable.
MG's a time traveler. He's You ever see the what was that movie called? Cube or Square or something? Where
the Lawnmower Man.
Where he's the oh boy. That's a little mean, but I'll still laugh at that. It's kind of funny. Also on the notes, it says, "I love my Earth's flat and my ass is fat."
Well, yeah, well, dude, why are you writing that?
Yeah, dude,
the ether's pumping in here. I'm sorry. He also said that even though she and Okada teased the team up, there's no plans of any kind of match. So
I would love to see that team up.
I would love to see that team up. Eddie Kingston quit AEW on social media. Obviously, this is a story-driven quitting. This was before Ring of Honor aired the episode where he challenged Claudio for the title. Did you watch any of the Ring of Honor stuff? It looked great.
Oh, yeah, it did look great. I watched a little bit here and there. This week was just, like, very busy. I think both of us, like, for the last couple of weeks have been, like, super busy with our personal lives.
Yeah.
But we're getting a divorce, by the way, Andrew and I.
Yeah. That's a big news. We haven't told everybody.
We've been married for several years. So I haven't seen, like, a lot of stuff, but this weekend I'm going to catch up with that Ring of Honor show. I heard it was 17 hours long.
Yes.
I'm excited to see where they're going with it, only because I want to see what they do with my interest is the roster itself. You know, like who's going to get placed where. And I think, and you know, I want your opinion on this. I think the state of Dynamite has been in a weird flux because of the Ring of Honor stuff.
Yeah. Well, definitely playing a huge part.
Right.
Huge part. They've had a number of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny was gone for a while. Then they had the suspensions. Then Punk got hurt.
Yeah.
Then he disappeared. It's just been a lot of uncertainty.
FTR's nowhere to be found.
But you're absolutely right. The Ring of Honor stuff muddied it even more.
And
because
I think,
how do you... Luckily for AEW, I think most people that are watching the product know what Ring of Honor is.
Absolutely.
But
Smart
you're
fans.
still... You want my honest? I'll tell you what I think.
I do want it.
I'm going to tell you what, in my opinion, is hurting Dynamite the most, or did initially. It's Rampage.
You think so?
They're forced to put big matches on Rampage to maintain that viewership at like 500,000 viewers.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking away key moments from Dynamite to put it on Rampage when nobody's watching it.
Yeah. Okay.
And we've seen this happen with Jon Moxley matches, Bryan Danielson matches, CM Punk was on there. You're giving it away on that product when nobody's really watching it.
You know, that's interesting too, but do you think the philosophy of that is like we're giving the arena crowd this little extra?
Yeah, the arena crowd is loving it because it's a third hour of the show and they're getting some pretty cool stuff.
And
Absolutely.
It's also that I feel like that mentality is also very rooted in like that kind of like PWG mentality where it's like, you know what, this stuff is for you.
Yeah.
You know, for the fans. It's interesting. You know, like I really do think like, you know, that Ring of Honor stuff, it really makes a case to say like, you know what, Dynamite maybe hasn't been the best over the last couple of weeks because of all the extra stuff that's going on within the company.
I think they've taken a hit for sure.
Mm-hmm. Like this week, we're gonna get into Dynamite, but I think this week's a good example. The best promo on the show was Christian's, I thought.
Yeah, and people are bummed out by him.
Right, you know, which is weird. Like the best promo on their go home show was Christian's, and that's fine. That's great. Like the show was decent, but for a go home show to a giant pay-per-view,
yeah,
I felt like it was a little bit lackluster.
Well, the viewership showed it also.
It did. It tanked, right?
You know, it's not great. They're in the 800s. What was it? 830? We'll get to that.
I can't count that high.
The 800 is my cutoff. I can't go above that. Raw highlights: Brock Lesnar accepted. We're going to talk more about this, obviously. We're going to Dynamite in a little bit. Brock Lesnar accepted the challenge of Omos at WrestleMania during MVP's Lounge. Cody defeated Chad Gable. Great match.
Yeah. A buddy of mine messaged me saying, like, did Chad Gable take the best Crossroads of all time?
He took a great one.
Took it like a champ. I still think it's Seth during that Evolution match.
Yeah, that was a good one, too.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
I love that match.
Oh, you're talking about the one with Goldust?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Dusty comes out and takes his belt off.
And he starts whipping everybody like a government mule.
Mm-hmm. Asuka beat Carmella.
Yes, Asuka beat Carmella.
Almost a 9-minute match.
Yeah, they gave it some time. Seth Rollins on Miss TV, apparently.
Miss TV. I mean, is Miss TV the subscription service you signed up for?
That has to be the sound effect for Miss TV, right? A nice
like sexy.
Sexy.
It reminds me. It makes me think of like sexy newscaster.
Yeah.
Right. I get my news from Miss TV. Stormfront's coming in.
Seth Rollins on Miz TV challenge Logan Paul at WrestleMania. All right, we saw this was happening.
Oh, yeah.
The highlight was unlocking Miz's phone.
Great.
That was a big moment. This was cool. Becky Lynch and Lita defeated Dakota Kai and Io Sky to win the Women's Tag Team Championship. This was a surprise.
How cool is that, though?
Trish was there, right?
Yeah, great.
Trish has been there for weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know if people know that.
She works in the back now.
She's been there for like 2 weeks. I think they just packed her up when they left Canada.
She's small. She fits into like a larger suitcase.
This was, you know what was really cute? Seth and Becky celebrating.
That was very sweet.
Very sweet. I love that stuff. I like when they do the off-camera things.
Yeah.
Very cool to see. Next week on Raw, big Raw in Boston, Massachusetts. That's how you say it.
Boston.
Boston.
Boston, you hard on.
Is that a thing they say? You're a hard on?
They call you a hard on.
Oh, I like that.
Listen up, you hard on.
I want to be a hard on.
I want to be a
Somebody
hard
call
on.
me a hard on?
It's so white. I want to be a hard on.
The girls in my office make me say Spanish foods and like what is this called?
And you're like quesadilla.
Quesadillas. Platanos.
What do they make you say?
Maduros.
Okay.
And platanos.
Okay.
And they find it hysterical.
Because you're pronouncing it all
Because
wrong?
I'm pronouncing it all wrong.
You should pronounce everything super right and then be like, get back to work and then throw the bag of plantains in there.
You mean like a right winger?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
like,
how I'm going to pronounce
but that's usually how you pronounce stuff.
That is how I pronounce it.
Quesadillas, platanos, tacos.
Quesadillas.
Quesadillas.
I call it quesadillas, ironically. And now it's like part of my vocabulary where I always say quesadillas. I also say what now.
Who like
what?
Like Hank Hill?
Yeah. What?
I worked with somebody from Ohio years ago, and they said quesadillas, unironically.
Oh.
And every time they said it, I got really mad. I went from like 0 to 60. My internal like hate and rage went from 0 to 60, and like immediately, like boom, quesadilla, idiots.
Next week on Raw, Boston, John Cena returns. Kevin Owens, Solo Sikoa. This looks like a great card, by the way.
It does, yeah.
Fantastic card. John Cena returns. Kevin Owens, Solo Sikoa. Seth Rollins, Logan Paul face to face. Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor. Have we had this match?
I don't think so.
We didn't have this in NXT?
No, they did not cross paths in NXT as far as I know. Finn Balor.
They could let this be a big banger. Bianca Belair and Carmella in a non-title match. SmackDown last night.
Ooh.
Cody and Roman had a face-to-face. This was great. Cody referenced All Out.
Oh yeah.
What did he say?
He was saying like Cody's promo was very good. He was like, I'm the guy that they said could make it. People call me Randy Orton's understudy. They said, but I never rise beyond that. They said I couldn't sell out a 10,000 seat arena with an indie promotion.
For All In.
He first said referenced Stardust as well.
Oh, right. He referenced Stardust, saying like he'll never get past Stardust. And then he did the All Out thing, but Roman, I feel like has been taking some kind of classes.
Yeah.
Like very good timing.
He's like,
on
your dad
him.
never even talked about you.
Roman takes these very good pauses and winks at the camera. Like he's fantastic. Great promo battle between both of them, and I like the long pause. And Roman was like, "You know what he said about you?
Nothing."
It was like it was great.
So I'm hoping at WrestleMania he whips out like Dusty moves.
You know he is.
Like I want to see Roman do the bionic elbow.
Can you see Roman seriously do like the tune-up?
What else? What else would Dusty do? What else was a Dusty move? Figure four,
the big elbow drop, the shimmy and shake,
the shimmy.
Like,
he was. I feel like he was just shimmying the whole match.
Oh yeah.
Very scintillating. His movements.
You know Cody's gonna hit all the Dusties, all the Gold Dusts. He's gonna do the Stardust.
He'll do the
cartwheel.
He'll do the inhale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good, man. But Are they
I'm into this match.
Same here, man. I'm sold on this. They're good promos. They're great workers. Like, Cody leaving AEW was probably the best thing he's ever done. Cody leaving the WWE, it was probably the best thing he ever did. Like just coming around full circle. This is what they want. I'm convinced that when a talent leaves WWE, there is nothing more that WWE wants for them to gain experience, become a journeyman, and come back better than ever to sell them more tickets.
Yeah.
Look at that intro, right? Cody comes out, does his American Nightmare shtick, and it's so over with the crowd, right?
This is a great question in the chat room.
Go ahead.
Does Andrew ever ask the girls to say American foods with a Latina accent?
Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger. Is that how you do it?
Yeah. Cheeseburger.
Listen, you know who has an adorable accent? Issa. She could do it. We'll just have her come and say food.
That'd be fun.
She's one of those. She comes and mocks me. She's
one of those.
She mocks me at work. She also mocks me on my pronunciations.
I think she left. I think she just came into the chat to say that she's going to fight you, and then she took off. No, Issa's awesome.
No, she's the best.
So let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Isn't that what WWE wants, right? When let's say Andrew Zarian leaves the company, they want you to go on a journey and come back better than ever and more over than ever so you can sell tickets, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Cody's a great example. Drew McIntyre's a great example, right? Who's going to be that next guy that comes back bigger than ever? Or girl?
Okay, Drew came back bigger than ever. Cody came back bigger than ever, for sure. You know who? Okay, I got one. Rusev.
But what has he done to improve upon the Rusev?
Oh, someone that left, improved, and comes back
that's
bigger
what they
than
want.
Ever.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a different... Okay. Oh, man. That's a great question.
I think you zoned out for a second. You were thinking about Spanish women saying cheeseburger.
I was thinking of Andrade, actually. Andrade was going to be my suggestion. He would have... Moxley? But I don't see him going back, right? Like, who left? Who has left and has done better? Malachi, not so much.
Rusev, not so much. Well, Malachi, I think, yes, creatively.
Really? Because I have a big problem with the trios. I think they're taking... Again, we're going to talk about Dynamite, and I'm going to air all my grievances out.
Sure, yeah.
And then Tony will yell at me. That's fine.
You fuck.
But you know what? He fucks up. He sends it to John Alba. He's like, you fuck. Why are you talking about my announcent?
Why are you saying these terrible
things
about
French
my
again,
show?
Tony.
Sacre bleu, Andrew.
He says Sacre bleu all the time.
Who told you to put your chest hairs away?
I want Tony Khan. You know, I'm gonna ask him this. I want Tony Khan to come up with a gimmick for me. Like, how would Tony book me?
I would book you like Inspector Clouseau's the Pink Panther. I smoke my fancy cigarette. I think MG Geek should be a dancing dinosaur. Maybe a pterodactyl.
Tony, that's insane. That makes no sense.
This is why Dynamite is falling apart. I'm booking podcasters.
This is why You know what? Ever since he became friends, those numbers have been plummeting.
Where is my waiter?
There we go.
I think creatively...
The ether's pumping, dude.
Yeah, it's great. I got a whole other coffee to get through. I think MG is also shitting his pants with laughter right now. So... Malachi, you're saying he didn't improve.
Like a Cody. I'm going to compare it to like a Cody or like a major improvement, right?
But I do think creatively, Malachi wanted to do cool spooky guy shit, and guess what? He's doing cool spooky guy shit.
He loves that shit. Right. I love it too. He's a great spooky guy.
Great trio.
Love it. Great trio.
You know, him, Buddy, and Brody.
But think about, you have three guys there. And I said this on We're Live, pal, to Garrett. And it came off like a hit against Brody, which it wasn't. But you had an opportunity to do something really big with Buddy.
Yeah.
And you had an opportunity to do something really big with Malachi.
Yeah.
Because they left and they were disgruntled. So, and you put them in a trios. And they don't really get too much time. And you were building a cool story with like the poison and you know, you built a stable. But why isn't he in major feuds alone?
I think he should be. I think
absolutely
they started out correct with the Cody thing. You know, that was fantastic. And then same thing with Andrade. But like little side note too, like I would love to see them really flip the script on House of Black and make them kind of like a sitcom family.
Oh yeah.
You can see that. You could be like, it's Black, it's Buddy, it's Brody, and then they all live together in like a weird house.
How about what's her name? Julia Hart.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. She's like the mom.
She's the mom. She just scolds them.
Uh,
Tony Storm.
Good example.
Great example. She's doing better for sure.
Again, Mercedes.
Mercedes would be the one. Yeah, I think Sasha would be the one. Very interesting. Let's see.
Stop fiddling around on your microphone, man.
It's not me.
I know. It's the other guy.
What's he doing? All right, where were we here?
Rhea Ripley with Dominic defeated Liv Morgan.
Dominic's great.
That's fun. Rhea's great.
Rhea's great.
Dominic with Rhea defeated Santos Escobar. I love me some Santos Escobar. I think the Ray hero worship thing's a little weird, and I feel like you're definitely setting up that angle, right?
Is he going to turn, or is he a babyface?
I think Santos Escobar is a natural heel.
He's so good.
Yeah.
He has the look. I mean, he has he's fantastic.
Is this their new breakout Latin star?
I think Dominic is.
Hell yeah.
They finally got it. They finally did it after 20-something years. They got their breakout Latin star.
Oh, man. Sheamus, Drew, and LA Knight, New Day, Karrion Kross set up a 5-way match for next week to see who'll face Gunter at WrestleMania. I think it's going to end up being Drew.
Isn't that something? Because where is Drew in the mix?
I don't know, man. He's just real jacked and comes out in a t-shirt.
He's ridiculously jacked. He comes out in a t-shirt and undies, and that's it. And a sword.
Shame. Shayna Baszler with Ronda Rousey defeated Tegan Nox. 2-minute match.
I'm still being told that they're in the title picture.
Shayna and Ronda.
Yeah, so I don't know how they're going to get there, but
I didn't add it.
Yeah,
I didn't add it, but apparently Ronda had suffered an injury, and that's why she didn't wrestle last night.
Got it.
That has something to do with it. So apparently she's going to be fine before Mania, but they're taking it easy with her. So I would imagine she'll be in that match.
Bobby Lashley called out Bray Wyatt, but Uncle Howdy attacked him. What a ridiculous sentence that is for me to say. What a fucking ridiculous sentence. Bobby Lashley calls out Bray Wyatt. Uncle Howdy attacks him from behind. The lights went out, and he disappeared.
I feel like Uncle Howdy should be a really good reveal.
But it's gonna be his brother.
Imagine if they continue this a year down the line and it ends up being Rusev.
He just gets bigger and bigger every week.
I would love that.
And he cuts his weirdo Eastern European poetry promos. Mm-hmm. Those are great.
Yeah, those are great, man. Listen, like it's not, when we say this stuff, it's not a knock on wrestling. It's just like, it's kind of like an interesting, like you're looking at this stuff from an interesting lens. There's two lenses that we watch this stuff. We watch as fans and we watch as podcasters, because you need something to talk about. And we can do this show. We could probably have a live stream of us doing this show. You want to try this?
Yeah, what?
You want to try to do an extreme podcast?
Oh, what is it, like an 8-hour show?
We go as long as we can.
What's the longest we've gone? I think those watch-alongs, I think we did like a 7-hour watch-along one time.
I want to say we did a 7+, definitely.
7+ for sure.
Yeah.
And we melted the equipment, if I recall. We like melted one of your cards, if I recall. Like it was like 7.5 hours.
I think you melted.
I probably did too.
He never recovered from it.
Melting Gonzo.
He is a melting Gonzo. Sol Sikoa defeated Sami Zayn with Jimmy Uso, but you're already seeing that Roman is upset with Jimmy also.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all falling apart. Sami was able to get the upper hand after the match when they tried to beat him down. Roman also told Heyman that if Jay didn't show up next week, he was going to blame Jimmy.
Roman's a terrible boss.
Terrible. WrestleMania reports Snickers and 2K will be co-presented as sponsors of WrestleMania. Maybe we could get that Snickers deal again.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
WWE is concerned with Sami chants leading to Cody getting booed. I don't think that's happening. Mm-mm. I think if you do something positive with Sami where the audience feels fulfilled, that will not happen. I don't see that happening at WrestleMania. I think the WWE audience knows the importance of Cody's success.
Yes.
There is a big emotional thing with Cody. And when you're constantly talking about his dad, mm-hmm. It's hard to boo the man.
Exactly.
If Cody came out as, being arrogant, like an arrogant Cody, mm-hmm. then I could see it happening. But, his story is great. And I think that pec tear really has helped.
Yes. Yes.
As far as like, how people feel with him.
Mm.
That was a fantastic match.
He's a sympathetic character.
He very much is.
Very much sympathetic character. So Sammy, though, I think,
But
if
that freaking tattoo on his neck.
you don't like that neck too?
I gotta tell you, that's all I see. The entire match, that's all I see. His head becomes the tattoo.
You know how he's going to beat Roman, right?
He's going to take off the tattoo?
Like Superman 2. He's going to peel off the tattoo and just chuck it right at Roman.
And then he's going to get absorbed and go into the vortex?
Go into the Phantom Zone.
The Phantom Zone. Yeah, there you go.
Acknowledgement.
Yeah. So far, this is the best guess of the card for WrestleMania. Roman Reigns, Cody for all the titles. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Bobby Lashley and Bray Wyatt. Brock Lesnar, Omos, confirmed, by the way.
Great.
Seth Rollins, Logan Paul. John Cena, Austin Theory. Edge versus Finn Balor. Hell in a Cell, apparently, people are talking about. I don't want to see a Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania.
It wouldn't be the Hell in a Cell that you want to see.
No.
I want a cage match.
Cage match.
Straight
I want the
cage
old cage.
Blue cage.
I want the blue cage.
Yeah. Make it
It's so
purple.
unforgiving, apparently.
Make it purple for Judgment Day.
Make it purple
That'd be
for
cool.
Judgment Day. Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio. Finally, this is happening 2 years after it was supposed to. The Usos, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. By the way, good job at waiting and holding that to happen.
Yes.
Because they fell into this, luckily. I think Rhea really is the glue of that whole thing.
Yes.
Because she's so stern, but
good.
There's this comedic level to the dynamic, for sure.
There is, for sure. And also, she's got such a great look, too, and presence.
I'm gonna get a little
nasty?
horny Harry here.
Yeah, get a little.
You know what I'm into?
Double H.
The thigh garter.
Same
the
here.
thigh strap that they put on now. I'm into that.
Yeah.
That's a new thing. Did you know that? That's a new thing.
I think they do weird experiments with the ladies. That's one of them. The other one.
They're all doing it now.
Yeah.
They all have that like little leather thigh thing.
The one thing that they did, which I think they're on the way out with, was the extensions.
Yeah, and like the purple hair for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah,
it got ridiculous.
Yeah.
Listen, they're trying different things. You got to stand out. You got to sell merch, right?
Gotta sell merch.
Women's tag titles also possibly 4 teams in there. AEW ratings for this week's Dynamite average 833,000 viewers on TBS, down 19% from last week. For a go-home show, I believe last year's go-home for Revolution did 930, 920, 930, something like that. So, not great. The big story was NBA. When the NBA's on, they suffer in the numbers.
Yeah.
But it's still no excuse because everything is competition.
Mm-hmm.
You're competing with TikTok. You're competing with YouTube. You're competing with everything. There's so much media out there. How are you going to drive people to watch your product? I got to tell you, that card did not drive people, especially for a go-home. Orange Cassidy defeated Big Bill to retain the All-Atlantic Championship. Dude, I think Cass is so freaking impressive, and I'm not saying that because he's a Bayside boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Queens. He went to Holy Cross, right? Malloy. He's an Archbishop Malloy kid.
He's a Malloy boy.
He's a Malloy boy. That's a term here, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
You look at people and you're like, you're not a Malloy boy. You're a Cross boy, right? You went to Cross.
Me? Yeah.
You went to Holy Cross. I went to Cardozo. I was a public school kid. We would get into knife fights.
Mm-hmm.
The Latin Kings would march in front of the school daily.
It was like West Side Story.
It was like West Side Story, yeah. You had the Greeks and the Italians and the Puerto Ricans all fighting and getting stabby with each other. Very true.
Powerhouse Hobbs beat Eddie Kingston, Ortiz, AR Fox, Sammy Guevara, Action Andretti.
Let's talk about this.
Takeshita and Commander to win the Face of the Revolution ladder match. Total spot fest.
Okay. Did you have a problem at the end with the refs holding the ladder? Because apparently the internet lost their minds.
No, who cares, man? You don't want this. Hobbs looks like he weighs a ton, right? You don't want this wobbly-legged dude falling off a ladder and hurting himself. No, hold that ladder. And plus, refs have been doing that for 85 years.
They've always done it.
Yeah.
They just don't shoot it. I don't know why they decided to do a wide shot with it and everybody lost their minds.
Well, the way the shot was cut,
yeah,
it was immediate.
Yeah.
Because as soon as Bryce Remsburg went to hold it, they cut away and then cut back to it by accident.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great match. Honestly, I know it was Hobbs' hometown. Good for Hobbs. I wanted Takeshita. I wanted Takeshita to win it.
He needs to start winning on TV.
Mm-hmm.
You got to start doing it because the guy is so impressive. He has something for sure.
Yeah.
He's not, this is going to come wrong, right? Come out wrong.
Sure.
There's a lot of Japanese talent that you see on AEW TV, and it pops us.
Yeah.
Because we're into Japanese wrestling.
Yes.
I don't see him in the same way that I see that. I see him more as a homegrown talent. I don't see him as, well, this is a Japanese talent
from
that's,
DDT
that's here, and it's cool to see him here. I see him as an AEW talent.
Absolutely.
And he's very impressive for a homegrown guy. I'm going to consider him homegrown. However, you got to have this guy win on TV. I do have an idea for him.
Shoot.
Okay.
Pitch it.
I can't. I think that All Atlantic title needs to be a little rebranded.
More of like an Intercontinental belt.
More like an Intercontinental belt, right? Where you could have a guy like Takeshita win that title and hold that title for a while and make it like a workers. I think Orange Cassidy's great with it, but what does it mean? What does that title mean? He's facing Big Bill for that title. What is an All Atlantic title? The naming is weird. It's more of an homage to the old days of wrestling, but if you called it, if I'm not going to say Intercontinental, but if you treated it more like an IC title, an international title or whatever, you would be able to do something cool with it by having a guy like Takeshita hold it for like 8 months.
I agree with that. I think this might be leading to, like, to piggyback on what you were saying about the wins, I think him losing is going to piggyback into Don Callis helping him out.
Yeah, because Callis was still... They dropped that. Remember they shot all those things where Callis and him were doing stuff?
Well, they showed Callis watching him on the monitor.
Now
on
they
Wednesday.
bricked it up again. So I'm cool with this.
They brought it back last night on Rampage.
Yeah, I'm glad.
They shot an angle.
So I'm thinking that could be the work-in for Takeshita, because it's like, listen, we all want the trigger to be pulled on this guy. I think he's got something. He's got that it factor that the fans love from day one. Slow burn him. That's fine. Because he's going to be destined for great things. He's going to win these matches. He's going to win these battle royals. He's going to become a fan favorite.
The other thing about Dynamite is you don't get to see your favorites every week.
I think it's a good thing, though.
You think that's a positive or a negative? I don't know how I feel about that anymore.
I think it's a positive, but I understand what you're saying. For example, we're not poo-pooing this, but that next match, Chris Jericho beating Peter Avalon, as a Fairweather fan, is that something you would want to see? If you weren't...
If I'm just tuning... You know what? I think if I was a Fairweather fan, I would be glad to see Chris Jericho wrestling.
Right.
Because it's a name I'm recognizing.
But then you'd be like, oh, who's this guy?
For Peter Avalon. I'd be like, hey, isn't that the guy in Catalyst Wrestling? Peter Avalon?
Even
That's
though
how I would say it.
Peter Avalon has a tremendous history in wrestling, right? Do you think they need to do more to hook those people who are flipping the channels?
Yeah, I think a little bit.
Okay.
I think a little bit. Hook defeated Matt Hardy to retain the FTW title.
Great.
Rio defeated Tony Storm with Saraya. I can't, dude. I tried. I'm so sorry, Cage. I'm not doing it to be a jerk. My brain just...
Nah, you're doing it to be a jerk.
My brain doesn't process names for some reason
Andrew
anymore.
the Jerkazarian?
Andrew Jerkazarian?
Yeah. Andrew Jerkazarian.
Is that Tony? Is that my new gimmick?
I think that's the name of your restaurant, though.
Jerkzarian?
Mm-hmm.
Just jerk chicken, dude. I'm just making jerk chicken.
I would love it if you opened up a jerk chicken restaurant.
Do you know what I fucking love?
Jerk
oxtail.
Do you really?
I love oxtail.
It's an acquired taste.
Oxtail with beans and rice.
Yeah.
Oh man,
when it's made right.
My dad's best friend Colin is Jamaican.
Yeah.
And Colin would bring as a child.
Oh, nice.
Would bring jerk chicken all the time.
Oh yeah.
My father was friends with everybody from the West Indies.
Yeah.
That's why everybody's Guyanese to him.
That might be why.
That is a true story. I wish this was a joke because it's so effing funny.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, if you are any kind of Caribbean.
Yeah. He'll think you're Guyanese.
Dominican.
Yeah.
Haitian. Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Guyanese.
Mm-hmm.
Guyana is not in the Caribbean. It's in South America.
Mm-hmm.
But to my father, it is kind of the Caribbean. Trinidad.
Yeah. He thinks everybody's West Indian.
Tobago. Everybody's West Indian. And he will ask you, are you Guyanese?
Uh-huh.
Okay? And you will say no. And then the second one is, are you from Trinidad?
Mm-hmm.
And he says it in a West Indies accent.
Really?
Because when my father came to this country, he picked up a Guyanese accent because of all the Guyanese guys that he worked with.
That's hysterical.
I grew up my father telling me, don't go to the attic. There's a zombie in the attic. Okay? And I'm not talking about Pee Wee Herman's zombie. I'm talking about like a ghoul.
Yeah.
A Guyanese ghoul.
Yeah.
A Caribbean ghoul. I had the most bizarre upbringing, but he looks at Roman Reigns every single week and asks me, is he Guyanese? And I say no. And before I could say he's Samoan, he goes, he's Jamaican. And I finally say, yes, he's Jamaican.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
Do you ever turn around and say to yourself, I got to stop watching wrestling with my dad?
I got to stop watching wrestling. Like, he loves Booker T, but he thinks his name is Booger T.
Mm-hmm.
I just stopped correcting him. John Cena is another one. He thinks his name is John Cena.
He's definitely Jamaican.
And he tells me every time that Randy Orton looks like my cousin, and they look nothing alike.
Okay.
Nothing alike.
That's interesting.
Yeah, my dad, watching wrestling with my father is the most hysterical thing you could do.
I think
you experienced this one time.
Oh yeah. I love hanging out with your dad. I think he's great. I love his commentary. And now I want jerk chicken.
Oh man, I'd love some jerk chicken. Danhausen, we spoke about this. Danhausen and the All-Atlantic champion Orange Cassidy last eliminated Butcher and the Blade. So Orange did double duty here.
Yes.
Interesting.
Listen,
I knew this. I don't know why I'm surprised by reading it because I watched it.
I know. Well. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about
I want
them?
Jeff Jarrett to win that freaking title so bad.
What a motley crew for
Don't
the
be
show
a coward.
tomorrow.
Don't be a coward, Tony. Do it.
Pull the
Jeff
trigger.
Jarrett. And I want Jeff Jarrett to win the world. I want Jeff. You know what I want to see? I want Jeff to come out and be like, for one last time, I want to challenge for that. And he's pointing at the world title.
Oh my God.
And now you have a Jeff Jarrett world title, and you do, you could do the false finish where he does like a Cheeto roll up, pulls the tights and wins, and the ref, doesn't see it, and he's holding that title. I want to see him holding that world title. I want the end of the world to happen. That's how you summon the devil to come back. That is how the Antichrist comes back. Jeff Jarrett wins the AEW title.
I think I'll do you one better. I think it would have to be Jeff Jarrett versus the Natural for the AEW world title. I you know what? I'm not alone in saying I feel like a lot of AEW fans would want to see that.
I got to tell you, Jeff Jarrett doesn't bother me.
Not me neither, man. I think he's great. That Mark Twain looking motherfucker.
He's turned into Mark Twain. He's an old-timey 1700s dude now.
Yeah.
Love it. Bryan Danielson, MJF final confrontation. MJF never spoke Danielson, cut him off, and went after his recent breakup. That is true, by the way. They did break up.
No, that sucks.
Yeah. He talked about having his dream job and leaving it to pursue fighting for the AEW championship. Part of the story is that Danielson just can't cut it. He can't do it for the big ones. And that has really been the story of him. Every world title challenge he's had, every world title opportunity he's had, he's come this close, but he can't do it. In a way, that elevates the world title because Danielson's one of the greatest of all time, and he was a multiple-time WWE champion. He comes to AEW, and he just can't do it. Now, my issue here is I'm a huge Danielson fan.
Yes.
So my bias here is that I want to see Danielson win the title.
Oh, yeah.
I talk about it all the time. What style do I love when it comes to wrestling? Danielson's style. It's a hybrid style. It's more mat-based. It's not as flippy as some of the other guys. Kenny is like Danielson, but on the other side. Because he's more of the athleticism.
Yeah.
I prefer Danielson's over Kenny, even though I think Kenny's the greatest pro wrestler of all time.
Okay.
Not, isn't it interesting how we measure this? Right? The greatest wrestling match of all time, right? Arguably, or maybe not arguably, Okada and Omega, right? When I saw that the big one, whatever, it was like 18 stars, Dave.
The hour-long.
Yeah. When I saw those guys, every time I watched it, I said, I just watched a masterpiece and I watched the greatest wrestling match of all time.
Yeah.
I could also tell you that one of the greatest matches I've ever seen is Hogan and The Rock.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally different.
It's inquantifiable.
It's inquantifiable because it depends on how you're feeling, the emotional connection, your favorites in there. I watch that Hogan Rock match all the time, and I really think it's a masterpiece. And it's unbelievable how that's not a 5-star match. I think now, looking back at it now, it's easy to say, how is that not a 5-star? But at the time, maybe you were like, okay, well, there was less wrestling, but the storytelling was great.
Right.
I could look at both of them and say those two could be considered the top 10 matches of all time.
I agree.
For 2 different reasons.
Right. Isn't that the interesting thing about pro wrestling?
It's amazing.
Well, listen, it's art. Art is art.
It's art.
It's beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Yeah. It's all those cliches. It's subjective. But you could throw in if you think about most matches that are top 10 ever, they're very different. Steamboat Savage.
Yeah. One of the greatest of all time. Right? Another one of the greatest of all time. Numerous Flair matches. Taker, Shawn 1, WrestleMania.
Shawn.
You like that better than Taker, Shawn 2. See, another one could be considered one of the greatest. I watched that match with Jess, and she is my gauge when it comes to matches. And I've been wanting to do this with her every year, where I want to pick one WrestleMania match, and we could maybe do it for the Patreon, and I have her we watch it together, and I get her opinion of the match. I think it would be cool. She's not a wrestling fan, but she understands it.
Yeah,
she was trapped in an elevator with Dave Meltzer. That was a great moment for her. While he's on the phone with somebody,
all he did was kiss his biceps.
He just kissed his biceps through the whole time,
and then he was like, "Could I kiss your biceps?"
He's like, "What does Andrew know?"
Give me this.
And she called me. She's like, "Dave's looking for you. Dave needs to speak to you."
He's the one who cut the electrical to the elevator too. All right, I'm gonna throw a match in there that could be considered possibly one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Cody Dustin.
Oh, from that first show they did. Oh man, what a beautiful story.
The lead-in and then the crying promo at the end.
So good, so good. Listen, man, I love wrestling. I very much. There are aspects of wrestling that I could recognize as being the dumbest thing ever, especially when I'm a little stoned and I'm watching it and I'm like, how do I watch this? That happens at times. But the art of it is unbelievable to me.
Right.
By the way, talking about pro wrestling, little plug here. Celebrate 6 years of Catalyst Wrestling live tomorrow from the Bell House in Brooklyn. Featuring stars from AAA, MLW, AEW, Ring of Honor, and more. Witness the 29th anniversary of the legendary wrestler Homicide. An insane anniversary scramble. O'Shea Edwards, Darius Carter face off for the first time ever. And Vanilla Vargas faces off against Kid Bandit. Kid Bandit is on a big I guess pop in Kid Bandit's career. Kid Bandit's been everywhere. A lot of positivity coming out of there. Tickets are still available. CatalystWrestling.com. Go check it out. I will not be there tomorrow, unfortunately. But I'm hoping the guys have a great show, because the last time they did that show, by the way, great venue. That Brooklyn, the Bell House. Have you been there?
No, I have not.
It's an awesome venue. It's almost like a brewery. I would describe it as like going to like a brewery.
Interesting.
Very cool setup. There's a bar and restaurant in the front. You go through the back, and they got this big open space. Awesome venue. If you're in New York and you're not doing anything tomorrow, and it's an early show, so you will still be able to catch. You'll still be able to watch AEW afterwards. But if you're in Brooklyn, go check it out. Very cool stuff. Big supporter of Matt and everybody else over there. Great guys. I have not funded this show, by the way. No.
You're not the Paul Heyman.
I am the money mark sometimes. But I did not fund this one. But I will be funding. I'll be giving them a little something. Listen, I'm like an investor. I just throw the money, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Kids, go have some, like $20. That's all I do.
Do what you got to do.
Just give them $20. Very cool stuff. All right. Rampage. Claudio and Wheeler Yuta defeated Aussie Open Top Flight in Dark Order. Rio defeated Emi Sakura. Emi, right? E-M-I. Emi.
Yeah.
M-E.
Emi.
That's Emi.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You love the Japanese
fine.
girls, MG.
Piped in. The only time of the show he pipes in like supernatural.
Yeah. Powerhouse Hobbs defeated Serpentico in 38 seconds. QTV is coming soon. Quality TV AEW. What is this? I did not see the QTV stuff.
It was a vignette. I
Okay.
thought it was interesting because they teased it last week too. So something weird's happening.
Hey, you want to talk about something weird happening? I got to tell you, little shout out to the guys that run the AEW on TV account. They've gone totally unhinged the last couple of weeks. I don't know if they got somebody new. It's hysterical.
Gotta check it out, guys.
You got to check it out. I'm telling you, definitely follow them. All right.
Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes defeated Swerve and Parker Boudreaux. Let's see. We got AEW Revolution tomorrow night.
Yes.
So let's do a quick preview, do some questions, and then let's get out of here.
And then actually, little. That's how I blink. That's how I like. That's how I do it.
It looks like you need a doctor.
You want to say?
Yeah.
That's how I wink at people.
Like a perv.
Hey, Issa. Hold on. Hey, Issa.
Ugh. Gross.
Yeah, hold on. Ready?
Ugh.
How do you feel about
Disgusting. I'm disgusted.
How does Issa feel about that?
I think she's disgusted also. I think she left.
No, she's here.
Is she?
She's always here. She never leaves.
Let's see. Revolution is tomorrow. AEW Revolution.
Yes.
Let's do the preview and then we'll get out of here.
Let's do it.
Do some questions.
Oh, so what I was saying.
Yeah,
We're filming Wrestling Observer Live right after this. I don't have a way of streaming it live because we got to pre-record it because there's a pay-per-view, right?
Right.
I do a show at 6:00. The pay-per-view starts at 7. The
Yeah.
show. By the time it's published, it's old.
Right.
So do I just spoil it? Do we pretend like it happened already and I just and we release it after the show?
What?
Second, do we pretend like Danielson won the title?
Well, the show's tomorrow,
Yeah.
not tonight.
We can make it up. Let's make up all the finishes.
Sure, whatever you want.
Let's make up all the finishes.
Whatever you want to do. I'm a little confused though.
We're going to make up all the finishes and then publish it after the show.
Wouldn't the Observer be the pre-show though?
Yeah,
It would
he's
be too late.
confused, Rich.
It would be too late by the time we release it.
Am I wrong about this, MG?
It is going to be no, I'm joking, but it is going to be the pre-show.
But you know the Revolution's not tonight.
I know that.
Right, you know that.
I know that.
I'm confused. I'm lost.
What I'm saying is, I know the finishes to some of the matches. Do we act like we saw it and then we just release it after the pay-per-view?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's make up wild shit.
Wild shit.
Let's record 2 shows.
MJF took a dump in the ring. 60 minutes. He had to go to the bathroom. Revolution preview and predictions. Let's do this. AEW Revolution 0 Hour is on Sunday, 7 p.m. Starts, it's going to be streaming on YouTube and, of course, on their social channels and on BR and whatever. Here are the matches. Let's go, Rich.
Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers, Penta and Rey Fenix versus Ari Daivari and the Varsity Athletes.
This is on the pre-show.
Josh Woods and Tony Nese. Great. That's going to be fun.
I like Josh Woods, and I like Tony, too. He's a good boy from Long Island.
Good for Mark Briscoe to get on the show.
Yeah.
AEW Revolution starts out with a final burial match. Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy. Is this the return of Luchasaurus? Does Luchasaurus show up without a mask?
Oh, yeah, because he lost the mask, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's in litigation over the mask. Jungle Boy should win, right? But where do you go from here? Where do you put Jungle Boy? What does Christian do?
I think Christian is leaving.
You think so?
I think he's going back to WWE.
With Edge?
I think he shows up at WrestleMania and helps Edge win.
Was Edge back when Christian left?
Yes.
I can't remember the time frame.
They had a simultaneous I think they had simultaneous TV appearances. Christian on Dynamite and Edge on Raw.
No, but was they since Edge came back, Christian was gone, right?
Yeah.
He didn't do anything with him since Edge came back.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I think the one thing pre-injury was they did the like a concerto thing where they were both on screen.
Like 2011?
No, pre-Edge getting hurt pandemic.
Okay. I have no memory of that at all. Like
I think, right, MG?
Someone in the chat knows. Maybe Issa. Issa's here, by the way. She's here. Look.
I thought she left.
I see her pink logo.
Her pink avatar?
Her pink avatar, where she's like a cat lady in it. Isn't that what it is? She's like a cat lady. She has cat ears.
I really want to see you guys fight.
What does she have in her hand? A martini? What is that? A Sauvignon Blanc in her hand? We are going to fight.
Edge and Christian were in the 2021 Royal Rumble together.
Okay, there you
Christian
go.
Signed with AEW soon after.
Okay, there you go.
Listen, I think this is it for my prediction. I think this is it for Christian. He comes back to WWE.
I would love to see those two do something cool again.
Absolutely.
Very much so. Very much so. AEW, where are we? AEW Women's Championship. Jamie Hayter versus Ruby Soho versus Saraya. What do you think happens here?
I think Jamie Hayter retains and Ruby and Saraya team up and give her the big old beat down.
Okay, cool.
TNT Championship, Samoa Joe versus Wardlow. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I think you're going to see like a wacky finish there too with Hobbs probably.
You know what I was thinking? You know what stipulation I loved in wrestling? I was thinking about this morning. I was thinking about Samoa Joe in the shower, actually.
Yeah.
This is literally my shower thoughts. He has 2 of those titles.
Yes.
Right? He has the Ring of Honor Television Championship, and he has the AEW TV title. TBS title. TNT title. Whatever it is. I think the stipulation should be, if you are in possession of 2 titles, you could give them in for a world title. For a world title shot. If you lose the world title, you could challenge back to win your titles, but that's it.
Okay.
Like you could lose them and you're the number 1 contender once you could, to get it back. But wouldn't that be like a cool stipulation to put in? Where, listen, there's no harm, no foul. Like let's say I have the TNT title and I have the All Atlantic title. I have 2 titles. I give them in. I get a world title shot at a pay-per-view or whatever. And then if I lose that world title, I could challenge back for my old title. One of the titles.
You know what? I like that. It's almost like it's like half the X Division title.
Kind of like half the X Division title.
I do like that.
But you can only do it if you have 2 titles because there's so many title belts in AEW. It kind of makes it its own story that you're chasing more belts.
I do like that.
Thought about that the other day. It literally just came to my mind. It was like, I was like, how do you spice this up? How do you add more to it? There's so many belts.
I think Wardlow's going to take this.
Wardlow should take it, for sure.
Because if you're doing the Ring of Honor thing, why not have Joe on there, right?
Yeah.
You also have the AEW World Tag Team Championship, the Guns versus the Acclaim versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. I do think the Guns are going to retain somehow, but listen,
I want Jeff
and Jay. Don't you want that? Don't you personally,
so
Andrew the Jerk Zarian?
Andrew the Jerk
Don't
Zarian.
you want that?
I want Jeff Jarrett to win the title.
All right.
Just because I like chaos. Also, I know the X Division title does this. I'm talking 2 belts, not 1. Do it with 2 belts. It was the U.S. title gimmick, remember?
Yes.
All right.
AEW World Trios Championship, the Elite versus House of Black.
I'm over this.
I think House of Black takes it.
I don't want to see Kenny and the Bucks in the trios anymore.
I agree with you.
I thought it was very cool. The best of the 7 was a cool series. Your tag division is very soft right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Look at it. Guns, Acclaim, Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Orange Cassidy, Danhausen. There's no FTR in this. You could have... The trios actually takes away from a lot. Because I don't think Orange Cassidy and Danhausen should be in this match.
I think they're going to... I think they should be in this match.
You think so?
Yeah, because the Guns have a big comedy element.
The Guns. Yeah.
Right? You're talking about the tag match, right?
Yeah.
The Guns have a big comedy element. The Acclaim have a comedy element.
Jeff Jarrett
and Jay Lethal, definitely.
Hysterical.
So I think it makes sense.
It's a comedy match, yeah.
It's a motley crew of wrestlers. But what are you going to do after that?
What are you going to do after that? Who are they facing?
Right.
FTR needs to come back. That division desperately needs FTR and the Bucks in it.
Or does FTR go back to WWE?
I don't know, man. Everything is so kayfabe 2.0. Like, those podcasts, I just see everybody's in business for themselves.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like that Jeff Jarrett thing. Remember Jeff Jarrett went on and he was like, ranting and raving on the podcast with Conrad. Everybody thought it was real.
Right.
Who was he going to punch? Oh, Max Caster.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, Caster. But I'm like, you guys got worked into it, which is great because that's the whole beauty of this.
Doesn't it prove that wrestling is still wrestling?
I think, honestly, there's one scenario that I think that could play out in the not so distant future that I would say wrestling is still wrestling, and as if it's CM Punk comes back and they're able to do business.
I think that's going to happen.
I think they really should, and I say it every week at this point. If they could make it work, they really, really should.
Yes.
Everybody involved really should make it work. And if you've noticed, more people are talking about this now. right? Isn't that interesting how all of a sudden now, and everybody's tiptoeing. Britt Baker is bringing this up in interviews, saying, what happened in that scrum. Kenny is bringing it up multiple times. FTR is bringing it up.
Kenny's interview with Renee.
Kenny's
he talked
interview with
pretty
Renee,
candid about it. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't. I wouldn't say. He just said I can't talk about it for legal reasons.
Yeah, but he also said like it's a shame or whatever. Like he didn't come off as like FCM Punk or anything like that. And really, Kenny was a voice of reason in all of that. It's. Do I believe that it was a work? No, I don't, and I don't want to put that out there. But Tony is a very smart guy. Forget about what all these fools say about Tony Khan on the internet. Okay,
for sure.
People that know him, I don't know him well at all. I've had a couple conversations with him. That's it. But I know people that really know Tony.
Mm-hmm.
He very much is a super, super bright guy, and he understands wrestling. You see all this criticism of Tony, and listen, man, there's growing pains.
Oh, yeah.
He's a young man. He's 30. What is he? He's my age, right? He's 38, 39.
46.
Tony Khan is 120. He's an immortal. He understands the importance of having a guy like CM Punk. That's why he brought him in. That's why it's so heartbreaking that this happened. And also, that's why so many of us are really... That was one of the moments that took a lot out of me.
I'll agree with that. Can you separate the art from the artist in this situation? Whereas, like,
I think everybody has to.
I do think now, like, yes, you have, like, he's got a little bit of a stank on him now, right? CM Punk.
Is it, I mean, really, how much more of a stink does he have than previously?
I think he's got a little stank on him, but I think now people are forgetting about that stank, and it's going back to, are we going to get those CM Punk chants again?
The big story will be in Chicago, but you really, if you are signing, and I expect them to get more money from Turner.
Yeah.
Everything I'm hearing is very positive. They're very much into AEW. They understand the importance of having AEW. First run programming that could draw you over 1 million viewers if done right. You don't get that opportunity too often. Now we're going into the business stuff, right? And then we'll go back to this. I would, and we'll talk about it on Observer Live also today, or tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll talk about it on Observer Live. Listen, you have an opportunity to make it work. And the Bucks, they're not dumb guys. They're smart business guys. They understand wrestling. They understand the importance of this. Kenny for sure understands it. Hangman everybody gets it. And for you to deem him a poison in the locker room and you can't work with him and you don't want him, you're not doing anything positive.
It's not big picture.
It's not big picture. The big picture is making it work and having this guy, at least for the next year, on your roster, bringing eyeballs.
Yeah, listen, if they can make amends and mend fences and do all that good stuff, and this guy comes back to TV, they'll rock.
And you don't get an opportunity to do a moment like a CM Punk coming into your company and doing that monster number they did. You don't get to do it twice. Guess what? You get to do it twice now if he does show up.
Exactly. And you know what? What would make it even hotter is MJF retaining over Danielson, right?
Yeah.
Danielson will make him a made guy. He'll put him over.
The 60-minute match will probably, if done right, he will be a made guy at this point.
He'll put him over, right? What better challenger than a returning CM Punk?
Yeah, I think it would be tremendous. Or him and Kenny, a standoff with him and Kenny and him and the Bucks. And, FTR and Punk versus Kenny and the Bucks for the trios title, and Punk and FTR wins the title.
Fantastic.
Huge. That could be a main event for any pay-per-view that company does.
Oh, forget it. As long as they don't do a best out of 7, I'd be happy with that.
I don't want to see a best out of 7.
What else do we got on the card here?
Where were we? Jeff Jarrett, we spoke about AEW Trios Championship match, the Elite versus House of Black.
House of Black's got to take it.
I think they should.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks. JAS is banned from the ring.
Starks takes it.
Do you know what I don't like about Starks?
What? You don't like that? You don't like that little Nolan's jazz on him?
Wait, do it again.
It's pretty good. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
MG's taking 1 million screen caps of you right now.
I'm going to do it. You guys ready?
Can you dab also?
My headphones.
That's your version of the dab. You're all over the place.
I'm all over the place. Are you having fun?
I'm having a great time.
Good. Chris Jericho, Ricky Starks. Who takes this? Ricky?
I think Ricky takes it.
Okay. And you got a Texas death match, but they're not calling it a Texas death match. They've just been calling it death. They've just been calling it a what did they call it? They called it something else.
They called it a Texas death match.
Yeah,
Did they?
Yeah. John Moxley versus Hangman Page. John Moxley's thin forehead skin banned from ringside.
And they're gonna be in denim, which is my least liked wrestling outfits.
You think he comes out as a classic Dean Ambrose?
I think they're just gonna come out in jeans, right? Isn't that what you do in a death match?
Jeans and
The Shawn Michaels jeans with the with the knee pads on them.
White tank top, blue jeans. He's got a
similar to what they wore during Anarchy in the Arena last
Yeah,
year.
I guess that's what it was.
He's got to dig down deep to resurrect Dean Ambrose.
So it seems like Moxley and him, like this is the match that they do, right? Because John Moxley had death matches, Texas death matches. They had it with Lance Archer, and Hangman also had one with Lance Archer.
Great.
Wow, that is weird. Why did both of them have it with Lance Archer? Why is Lance Archer the Texas death match guy?
Why not?
He's another one.
He's
You know
from
what?
Texas.
He's another one they could do a lot more with him.
I think so. I think he was booked for something, right? Like recently, MG?
I don't know. He's impressive. He's a big dude.
I can't remember. I'm not sure exactly. I know he's back with Jake's back with him. So
Okay. The graphic
was
just
on
says Texas Death,
Rampage.
apparently.
Yeah, Texas death. Yeah, it just says Texas death.
Could be hot sauce.
Could be hot sauce.
Spraying hot sauce in each other's eyes.
And we have the 60-minute Iron Man match between MJF and Bryan Danielson. I would love to see Danielson win, but is he the guy right now to win it? I don't think so. Could you do a title back and forth? Yes. I do think Danielson needs to have that title at one point.
Yeah.
You got to honor that dude because him coming to you and working in your company, and he's a guy that you could get behind. He's a babyface with a title. You know, what would that mean to the company? You're going to do stuff that you normally wouldn't when you get this new leading up to this TV deal to pop those numbers. And I just know that the importance on having that show at 1 million viewers weekly is very high.
Yeah.
To do that. So I think they need to try. All right.
I think so too.
I have one question, one thing to add real quick.
Hold on. Let me
before
do
you
my
go to
plugs and then you could ask your question. We'll go into Q&A.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Okay.
Join Matt Ryan tonight at 9:45 p.m. on the Mattman channel, doing a live watch along for UFC 285. Wrestling Observer Live tomorrow. We're going to be pre-recording it now. And if you're interested in the XFL, check out MG Geeks and Jonathan Risk's podcast, the XFL podcast, at XFL Podcast on Twitter. They've been doing a great job. Very proud of you boys, by the way. I know Jonathan's not here, so I'll tell you. Very proud of you guys. Okay, now you could ask your question.
Over and under, is this pay-per-view ending before or after midnight?
I think it's ending before midnight.
It would behoove them too, I believe, right?
I think they should. I think they should end before midnight. All right, guys, Q&A time. Submit your questions in the chat room. We'll do our best to answer them. Fight Me, Zarian, says Issa. Issa, when are you coming back? When are you in Nueva York?
Say that again?
Nueva York.
Nueva York.
Do you like it?
I love it.
You're a Spanish boy. How do I say it? I said it good?
Yeah, you're just fine.
Okay, thank you.
Quesadilla.
Quesadillas, Nueva York.
Quesadilla. All right, we got a couple of super
My
chats.
wife's family's from Arecibo.
Okay.
I got Puerto Rican kids.
Are they yours?
Very Puerto Rican. They're very Puerto Rican.
Guys, we're going to do some questions very quickly. If you want to super chat us. If not, that's cool too.
Yeah.
This is $5 from Shreyar. Well, he already acknowledged the hair boss and the wise man Rich.
Dude, everybody's saying, John in the chat was saying, I'm wearing Vince's hairpiece from the 90s, and I am, actually.
Whoop! Oh, man. It'd be great if you took that wig off and there was just another one right underneath.
It just grows automatically.
Like Chia Pet.
Yeah.
This is another one from Shreyer. Andrew and Rich, who do you want, but will WWE? Who do you want, but will buy WWE?
Who do you want to buy WWE?
Will it be French Tony Khan? Never. I don't want that garbage podunk promotion.
You know what? I'm going to bring, when we go to UBS, are you coming with me?
When is this?
In April.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Are we going to Mania?
You know what? If Dwayne was wrestling, 100%.
Okay.
I don't want to. I'm not going to LA and not seeing it.
All right.
Let's bring a baguette.
Sure. Yes.
Let's bring a
Beret.
A beret.
Mm-hmm. All things French.
Okay.
Croissant.
And a croissant, and we'll give it to Tony. And we'll get the picture with French Tony.
He'll be like, what the fuck is this?
It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? I don't listen to this shit. John Alba, get the fuck out of here.
I'd be hysterical if we just called you John Alba.
He does, and he DMs me as John Alba. Whenever John tweets something he doesn't like, he just messages me and yells at me.
Hey,
it's hysterical.
Cocksucker.
Yeah, totally.
Let's see. This is from Toku on Twitch. Where does your dad think Kofi is from?
Guyana. No. He Jamaica. He always says he's Jamaican, which he was. And then he's like, he's Jamaican me crazy.
Just waiting for that. Let's see. This is from Estilo Latino. Obligatory AEW Fight Forever release date question.
Second quarter. It is a second quarter release.
Cadillac Carson. Who do you think will be the first to pin Solo?
Oh, that's a good one. Kevin Owens?
That's a good one.
Maybe Kevin or Sammy?
John Cena.
John Cena?
There's real quick. He does it like super. He's on meth. Let's see. This is from BC Knight. Any update on where Jay White is signing? I don't think he's going anywhere.
I don't know, man. I don't know where he should go.
Or he ends Revolution.
Oh, yeah. You could do something there. AEW would be a great fit for him. But, I mean, would WWE do good by him? I don't know. He's definitely on the radar. They're very impressed by him. I mean, who isn't?
Yeah.
Dude is great.
I think he would shine more in AEW, though.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to tell you something. Very unpopular opinion. I think Kenny going at WWE would be the biggest move of his career.
Why not?
He'd be the big. He would be humongous.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Kenny and the Bucks.
More Kenny than the Bucks.
I think you need the deal.
Yeah.
Like they had.
It would. Yeah.
It would have to be the three of them.
Yeah.
You know, but with Kenny getting the most money. Listen, never say never, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. This is from P. Cliff. If you were a betting man, who out of these three names should make sense for WWE to sign?
There
we
you
go.
Here's one.
Kenny, Coda, Jay White. If not those three, who do you think should be on WWE's radar? First time watcher. Cheers. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, dude. Subscribe to us, please.
Yeah,
I beg
subscribe.
you.
Give us money.
Welcome
Give us your money
aboard.
like Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, welcome aboard to this nutty fucking show. Kenny Omega for sure. He would be the biggest name. I don't think they would do right by Coda.
No.
I think Jay White would be a nice second. Who do you think who should be on WWE's radar? Speedball Mike Bailey.
Okay.
He 100% should be on their radar. He is on their radar. There's a couple of guys in AEW that they're very interested in. I don't want to. Hobbs is one. Wardlow 100%.
Oh, yeah.
He's very impressive. Hobbs is another one that they like.
Who would you rather see hold the NXT title? Wardlow or Braun Breaker?
Wardlow.
Right?
Yeah.
It's almost like two guys kind of cut from the same mold.
Yeah. Braun should be. Is it time for Braun Breaker to come up?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know how it's going to translate though.
Put him in a program with LA Knight.
The Miz.
Oh yeah, always the Miz.
Always.
Where it used to be Ziggler, now it's the
Yeah.
Miz. Who do you think? Who else do you think?
That's not there. That hasn't been
Rusev and Andrade.
there. Rusev and Andrade. Yeah.
Speedball Mike and Action Andretti.
Action Andretti.
That's a good
Young
one. Ricky
guy.
Starks, I think, is a good one. Can you imagine Ricky Starks on SmackDown?
Ricky is made for WWE.
I got one for you.
Yeah, give me.
Your boy, Josh Alexander.
Josh Alexander. Yeah, another. Yeah. Well, he's so good. Josh Alexander.
He's amazing.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's get him back on the show.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we should talk to him.
This is from BC Knight. What's the percentage that CM Punk returns at Revolution?
I would say very, very low.
3%.
3%. Fine. Yeah.
3%.
Very low.
There's one from Cadillac Carson. Your dad's a wrestler.
Yeah.
And when he yells at you, it makes you cry.
Yeah.
Which wrestler is it?
Yeah.
For me, it's Samoa Joe, hands down.
So we're talking about Fred. When we were kids, we would always, my father would go into these rages sometimes, and then we would say it's the Ken Shamrock moment.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
For some reason, your dad's a wrestler, and when he yells at you, it makes you cry. Samoa Joe can be very frightening.
Yeah.
Jake Roberts. right?
Yeah.
I was so terrified of this guy. When I was a kid, he looked like my mother's cousin's husband, Barjan. Okay? And this guy was like
also nicknamed the Snake, by the way.
Yeah, his nickname was the Snake. And he was a raging, like, angry drunk.
Oh, boy.
And he would scream at the kids and like violently. And I always was terrified of Jake Roberts because he looked like him.
Wow.
Jake
I got
Roberts
one
for sure. Yeah, give me.
Mm-hmm. And I'm dating myself, but George the Animal Steele.
Why? He's so friendly. He looks like my grandfather, George Steele. You remember my grandpa?
It was the green tongue, man.
I don't think I ever met your grandpa.
You never met him? You have to have met him. He looked just like George Steele. My other grandpa looked like the Shah of Iran. That's a true thing too.
I don't think I ever met your grandpa. Let's see what else we got here. You want to do two more?
Yeah.
Okay. This is from Shriekant. Any Mania plans for AJ Styles?
He has a broken ankle.
When did that happen?
I don't know. How long does a broken ankle take to heal up? I think with Cody winning that title, or if he does, him and Styles could have a great match.
Oh, yeah.
Think of all the opponents that Cody's going to have. This is something that's not really discussed. We'll talk about this on Observer Live, but Cody has such a great list of people to have matches with.
Oh, yeah.
That I want to see. I want to see him and Seth. I want to see him and Roman, obviously. Him and Styles could be great. Him and anybody. And I would love to see him be a fighting champion and defend that title every week.
I agree.
Why can't they do that?
I think that would be awesome. I wouldn't mind seeing the challenge, too, like he did with
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, like that.
This is from Noob and Company.
Okay.
Will WWE bring back the Mae Young Classic this year? If so, which female independent wrestlers? What happened to the question? Which female independent wrestlers will be in the tournament? 1, Natalia Markova. 2, Billy Starks. 3, Mariah May.
I don't know, and I'm always very honest. I'm very behind in women's independent wrestling right now.
Yeah.
MG is more in line with that stuff. He loves that stuff. I've fallen very behind. I've had very little time the last 6 months. I don't know if they're bringing it back. They've essentially locked in everybody that they want that's available.
They have a surplus of talent right now.
They do have a surplus of talent, yeah. You know who's another person that would do tremendous in WWE? Jade.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot see her not going there.
Jade versus Charlotte, man. Print that money.
She's so impressive looking, and she's gotten
surprised
so
she's
much
not
better.
On Revolution. I'm very surprised she's not even on
Well,
the
this
card.
is part of the problem. This is what I mean, right? It's not consistent because there's so much talent there that they're trying to do so much with. How do you not have her defending the title?
I think once the Ring of Honor stuff hashes out, we'll see more of a positive change.
Yeah, now it's happening, right?
Yeah. One more question?
Yeah.
This is a good one.
All right.
This is a really good one.
Maybe two more. Let's yeah. All right, whatever. Whatever you want to do.
Cadillac Carson. Which wrestler would do well as a guest on Seinfeld?
Oh, I could see it now.
Go ahead.
Okay. Current wrestler? Samoa Joe. He's there to fix Jerry's lock.
Okay.
Okay. And Kramer is trying to convince him to give him a key.
Okay.
And Samoa's not having it.
Okay.
Kramer then decides, I'm going to flip the locks. And Samoa Joe gets fired.
Okay.
Okay, because there's a problem with the door. Samoa Joe gets fired, and now Samoa Joe is stalking Kramer, looking out the window, following him everywhere. And that's the whole story, that he's terrified of him, and he's stalking him, and he has to get his job back. And he becomes a super in the building.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2. One, I don't have a plot for him.
Yeah.
RJ City.
RJ City would be great in Seinfeld.
I think RJ City would be amazing in Seinfeld. Just comedically, I think he'd be great.
What would he be doing? Give me a story.
No story for him. I can't think of one.
Dating Elaine.
That's a good one. Dating Elaine, or he's another comedian that Seinfeld. He's the comedian that gets all the babes.
Oh, yeah.
He drains the club.
Or you know what? How about this one? He's hysterical, okay? Except to Jerry. Jerry doesn't find him funny, and everybody keeps telling him how funny RJ is.
That's in line, yeah.
But the jokes that he's saying, we don't find it funny, the audience.
Right.
Everybody else finds it hysterical.
The TV audience.
TV audience. And Jerry's so annoyed because he's getting his bookings.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Even Bonnie's funnier.
Steve Banyan?
Mm-hmm.
Steve
Banyan.
Is that his name?
Kenny Banyan.
What was it? Kenny Banyan.
Kenny Banyan.
Yeah.
My other pick for Seinfeld, Big Show, Paul White.
Oh, that's a good special appearance though.
Special appearance. Paul White is sitting at a restaurant. They don't see how big he is, right?
Okay.
Somehow George has to drive him to the airport.
In the Saab?
Right. So you have George driving,
Yeah,
and Paul White in the passenger seat for the entire episode.
But the top's down.
There you go.
Yeah, the top. Oh, so good. So good. You know what? I would love to fantasy book wrestling and Seinfeld.
Oh, absolutely.
Would love to.
Feldman coming soon.
Yeah, Feldman coming soon. All right. We done?
I think we're done.
All right, guys. Love each and every one of you. Do us a favor. Hit the subscribe button where podcasts are. Rich and I are going to go record another show. See you later. Bye-bye.